Lightweight, warm and built to move with you. Today we're diving into the Patizon ReLight Pro down jacket, my go-to hybrid insulation jacket for almost 2 years. Here's what I found. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and maybe I should welcome myself too, since it has been a while, to say the least. For those of you who just tuned into my channel for the very first time, my name is Gijs and I am a Dutch outdoor gear nutter. Today I am reviewing the Patizon ReLight Pro down jacket, a hybrid insulated jacket designed for lightweight warmth, high mobility and long-term durability. It combines European goose down with Climate Shield Eco synthetic insulation and focuses heavily on freedom of movement, breathability and sustainable materials. Now, I've been using this jacket for almost 2 years now, so this is not a first impressions review. The reason the review is a bit overdue is simple. Winter in the Netherlands are getting warmer and I haven't spent much time in the Alps during winter lately. But recently I've been to Sweden and it's been cold in the Netherlands. So that said, I do feel I've used this jacket enough by now and enough in cold conditions to give you a solid and honest long-term review. Before I dive into the jacket itself, let's talk briefly about the brand. Until about 2 years ago, I had never heard of Patizon, and probably you haven't either. The brand was introduced to me by the Dutch distributor and Patizon sent me this jacket for testing, but Patizon is not paying me for this review and they see the review on YouTube at the same moment as you see it, so no influences whatsoever. Patizon is an outdoor gear brand from the Czech Republic. They originally focused on designing lightweight functional down sleeping bag for hikers, backpackers and mountaineers. From the beginning their focus has always been on high quality materials, precise construction and careful environmental consideration. Over time they expanded into insulated jackets like the ReLight Pro while keeping the same core values: durability, sustainability and practical design. Now, all Patizon products are manufactured locally in the Czech Republic using premium components such as the Pertex and Torre fabrics, and the brand also puts a strong emphasis on responsible sourcing, including RDS-certified down and recycled materials throughout their range. One of the biggest advantages of down insulation is of course its compressibility, and the ReLight Pro really benefits from that. I measured my size S jacket at 380.9 grams on my calibrated precise scale at home. Patizon claims a weight of 381 grams for a men's size M, so those numbers are very close. For a jacket with this level of insulation, that weight is absolutely fine. Packed into its stuff sack, which weighs just 7.8 grams, the jacket measures 13.1 by 24 centimeters, and that is very compact. So it takes up a very little space in my backpack, making it easy to carry on longer hikes or day trips where it might spend most of the time just packed away. Once you take it out, the jacket lofts really quickly and reaches its full insulating volume without much waiting. And I like that since I use the jacket when I'm hiking in a shirt, a soft shell or a hard shell, and when I take a rest and have a cup of tea, I take the jacket off, the soft shell off, the hard shell off and put the down jacket on just to keep warm on those mountain tops or even here in the Netherlands. And of course it also works absolutely nice when you're setting up camp. You take off your maybe damp hard shell and you put on your down jacket and you're comfortable warm immediately. Now, on that warmth, there is something nice to say, because Patizon uses a hybrid insulation approach for this jacket. Instead of using down everywhere, premium European goose down is placed in the core areas where warmth is most important. In areas more exposed to moisture and movement, such as under the arms and around the hood and in the lower back, Patizon uses Climate Shield Eco synthetic insulation. This construction improves moisture resistance and breathability and avoids stitched baffles in those zones. That also improves comfort and the freedom of movement, and yes, it is probably a bit more cost efficient in production as well, since you need to make less baffles. And of course, down is a little bit more expensive than synthetic material. But there's a lot more to be said about the down itself. Because when it comes to down, there are always two questions. First, what type of down is it? And second, what is the quality of that down? Let's start with the type. Is it goose down or is it duck down? This used to be a very important question because many people believed goose down was always superior. Today, experts agree that while goose and duck down look different, they can provide the same level of insulation. What really matters is not the species, but the insulation performance, and that is measured by fill power. So let's move on to quality. Down quality is expressed as fill power, or FP in short, and you will see this on a lot of websites of brands. And FP is measured in CUIN, cubic inches per ounce. In a standard test, 1 ounce of down is placed in a transparent tube with a scale. A weight is applied on top, compressing the down. Now, high quality down traps a lot of air and resists compression. Lower quality down collapses more easily. As a general guideline, 440 to 450 CUIN is average, 500 to 550 CUIN is good, 550 to 750 is very good, and anything about 750 is top tier. So the Patizon ReLight Pro uses 850 CUIN goose down, which puts it almost at the very top of what's available. That means excellent insulation with only a relatively small amount of down. The down in this jacket is RDS certified. RDS stands for Responsible Down Standard, developed by the Textile Exchange. The RDS ensures that the down comes from ducks and geese raised under strict animal welfare standards. This includes no force feeding, no live plucking, down collected only after slaughter, and full monitoring by independent third parties. Farmers, animal welfare experts, brands, manufacturers and retailers are all involved in this process. Only when all these conditions are met can a product carry the RDS label. Now, in my opinion, using RDS certified down isn't just a plus, it should be the minimum standard. Buying non-RDS down products is something that I regard as no-go. Both the outer and inner fabrics are made from recycled nylon using Toray Airtastic and Pertex Quantum materials. A DWR coating is applied on the outside of the fabric to help shed light moisture and snow. As with all down jackets, this does not make the jacket waterproof. It is designed for dry, cold conditions and light precipitation. I remember the word. In prolonged wet weather, which is not the intended use, of course, of a down jacket, a shell layer is recommended. Now, DWR stands for Durable Water Repellent. It helps water bead up and roll off the fabric instead of soaking in. The DWR coating used on the ReLight Pro is PFC-free, and that's good because PFCs are chemicals that have been shown to cause environmental harm, including damaging the ozone layer that protects us from too much UV radiation. PFC-free DWR coatings are more environmentally friendly, but they are usually less durable. Patizon guarantees this coating will still perform at 80% efficiency after 20 wash cycles. That's a number I'll probably never reach, but it is a strong statement for durability and sustainability, and if needed, you can always clean and re-impregnate the jacket, but do it with a special down washing detergent. That's absolutely important too. What is interesting about the down is that Patizon does not use hydrophobic down in this jacket. And now you need to something about the manufacturing process. The raw down that's plucked is cleaned using a biodegradation process, mainly because raw down really smells. And we don't like that. During cleaning, some of the natural hydrophobic properties are removed. Hydrophobic means that the down will not absorb moisture. Now, most brands after cleaning then treat the down to make it hydrophobic again. Patizon deliberately does not do this. Natural down has the ability to absorb a small amount of moisture, sweat, humidity, without immediately losing its insulation. That's why down jackets and sleeping bags often feel more comfortable and have a better internal climate than synthetic insulation. At least that's how I notice it. The trade-off is clear. If down gets completely soaked, it clumps, loses loft, and it takes a hell of a time to dry. Hydrophobic down solves part of that problem, but Patizon explained to me that the treatment reduces fill power and that the long-term effects on the hydrophobic treated down are unclear. Because Patizon wants to make products with a long lifespan, they choose not to use hydrophobic treatments. And to be clear, this is Patizon's point of view, and that I do absolutely get. But in a future review of another brand, I will tell you about a down jacket that has got hydrophobic treated down, because they have a totally different point of view, which is of course very, very interesting. Now let's talk a little bit about the baffles and the baffle construction of the jacket itself. The down is held in place using sewn through baffles, and this means that the outer and inner fabrics are stitched together, creating narrow tubes that hold the down. The downside of the sewn through construction is thermal cold bridges at the seams, because this is where there is no down present. In the ReLight Pro, these cold bridges are barely noticeable. The baffles are very well filled, and the pocket construction on the front adds extra layers over large areas of the jacket. Now, this helps to maintain consistent warmth and avoids noticeable cold spots. The fit of the jacket is clearly designed with movement in mind. The raglan sleeves allow a natural range of motion, even with a backpack. There's enough room for base and mid layers without feeling bulky, and I'm wearing my wrap hoodie underneath this one, and also a t-shirt and a base layer because it is pretty cold at the moment. The cuffs, they are elastic to keep warmth in, and around the waist there is a adjustable hem that helps to seal the jacket on the lower part, and also the back part is a little bit longer, so your lower back will be warm as well, and even a little bit of your bum. Now, the hood is helmet compatible, it's adjustable, and the strings are on the inside and works well with glasses or goggles. It has a small peak, which is useful in snow, although sometimes I still wear a cap underneath it because of my prescription glasses. I like to keep them totally sheltered from snow or rain, and then that tiny peak is just not enough. Storage is well thought out too. Two merino lined hand pockets, very comfy, a chest pocket and two internal pockets also with that same merino, so it's really cozy. The only small downside for me is basically the zipper pull tabs, because they are absolutely tiny and tricky with cold hands or gloves, and I fixed this with a spare pull tab from a other brand, and you probably know the brand that I wear quite a lot. Now let's head on to my experience in the real world and outdoor use and durability. In real world use, the ReLight Pro works best in cool to moderately cold conditions, around -10 degrees Celsius maximum. That's what I had for 1 week in Sweden, and the jacket performed absolutely nice. It's excellent during breaks in camp or as an outer layer in dry weather, even with a backpack. I noticed that the hybrid insulation regulates, in my case, temperature a bit better than a traditional all-down jacket. That has got to do with the fact that I am always pretty active and some full-down jackets get too hot too fast in my case. But that's very personal. One important note, under the armpits and a part of the sides, there is only fabric and no insulation, despite whatever the website states. Personally, I like this because, again, I heat up quickly and it improves ventilation and, of course, also the freedom of movement. After 2 years of use, the down still has full loft, or regains full loft. There's no clumping, and the distribution of the down is very evenly in the baffles. The fabric itself prevents feather leakage very well. Now, one mistake I made, I tore a piece of the fabric on a thorny branch and I repaired it with a Gore-Tex patch. And honestly, now I think this jacket looks absolutely cool, but it shows it's been places. One thing that is also nice to know is there is a €20 trade-in refund for the Patizon jacket and other Patizon products if you buy something new from them. But I doubt you'll ever want to give this jacket back once you've bought it. And now it's time to head on to my verdict. How do I rate the Patizon ReLight Pro down jacket? The Patizon ReLight Pro down jacket is a jacket that I've generally come to appreciate over time. It's lightweight, it is compact, it lofts quickly, and the hybrid insulation works extremely well for me. You get warmth where you need it and breathability where you want it. And I like the fact that it is made in the Czech Republic. The use of RDS-certified 850 CUIN goose down combined with Climate Shield eco-synthetic insulation, recycled fabrics and PFC-Free DWR makes this a well thought out and durable jacket. The only real downside for me are the small zipper pull tabs, but you can solve that quite easily. And now on to the price. The retail price for this jacket is €345, which is a fair price to pay for what you get. But at the current sale price of €241.50, it is an absolute steal. And therefore I rate the Patizon ReLight Pro down jacket at 9 points out of 10 points total. Now, I hope you found this review useful, and if so, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and please leave a comment because I love them. Enjoy the outdoors and stay safe. Ciao, ciao! And now one thing that I did not tell you yet, because yes, it is cold, about 2 degrees, my feet are getting colder by the minute, but 2 weeks ago I shot the same review somewhere else, because then we had a week of full snow in the Netherlands, and I wanted to shoot this jacket in the snow together with some other jackets as well. Full day of shooting, and I came home and I heard the sound, and some parts were okay, and some parts that was at you couldn't hear what I was saying. Maybe it's not that interesting what I'm saying, but still, the sound was not okay. And then I discovered, of course, I am next to a military site, so probably there's something jamming the sound. And that's why I'm doing this today again. Running an outdoor channel is never easy. Bye.